The following is a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. For more information, visit us at dallasgenealogy.org.
Okay, this is Family Tree Maker, February 2022 for the Dallas Genealogical Society. We're going to start a new tree. We're going to start from the beginning on how to set it up in your files and how to move forward. And this will be cumulative till the end of the year, December, when I will merge it to a bigger tree and show the cleanup. And believe me, there will be cleanup. You do not have to work every tree in the same, everything in the same database. When I start a new project or a new person in a tree, until I know for sure how those relationships work, I put them in a separate tree so I don't muck up my big tree with a bunch of names that don't belong. I do that by starting a file folder for that particular name, wherever you save your files, or if you do them by surname or whatever, start a file and then or folder, and then in that folder you make a folder name with for the media. And so I'm going to open it and make a new, well, if it will let me. I want a new folder, and this was FTM Taunton. Taunton is the last name that this project is going to be on. She's one of my husband's great-great-grandmothers. And within this folder, you want to make other folders and go on and get them set up early because it will make your life easier. And over on the left are a list of what folders I set up early. Basically, it's a census with every census year. I need to add at 1950. The mortality schedule, estate schedule. And then I've got other things in there that I use all the time. And when I do vital records, I've got birth, marriage, and death underneath them. And then I make a folder called New. Now, New is where I put every image I download or scan until it's linked. Once it's linked, I moved it to its correct folder. So I'm going to add that one folder right now. I'm not going to take the time to add all the rest. If y'all want this list, I will put it in a Word document and PDF it, and we will upload it to the Family Tree Maker Special Interest Group SIG page on the Dallas Genealogical Society website. I'm really having trouble with my mouse, as y'all can tell. Good grief. There we go. And one of the reasons you want to make a new folder is to put everything in, is your database will go back to the same place every time to look for the link. And once you move it, you can reattach them from the right place. And that will get shown later in the progress of doing all of this. So I wanted to go through this, and now I'm going to close this, and maybe things will get faster. The other thing is to set up an Excel spreadsheet called Locked. And this is for putting images that are locked on Family Search that you need to go to the library to get. I go to Grapevine, but Dallas has them. Several libraries and repositories have our family history library affiliates, and the images are usually unlocked at them. Also, though, it would behoove you before you go and spend time at the library to double check and make sure they're still locked. Because as one person put it, it was locked when she started her handout. It was unlocked by the time she finished. You don't know what Family Search is going to do. So anyway, this is a research tool. And then for Family Tree Maker, in a whole new tree, from the plan menu, you start a new tree. And you start simply by typing the name. And we're going to put in Emily Taunton. And her birth date was 7 February 1859. And she was born in Louisiana. Now, Family Tree Maker is nice, and they have a placing authority that has stuff already populated in it. Now, it's going to name it automatically Taunton unless you tell it to do something else. It will ask you where you want to save it. This is being saved where I don't want it, so I'm going to click the File button, and I'm going to go to where I want to save it, if I can find the right thing. There we go. This one. Well, there they are, right there. I'm going to save it in my SIG tree folder. And I'm going to leave it Taunton. And then you hit the continue button. And it will think for a few minutes. And it will come in with her over here. And I again forgot to put the sex. And why is it beeping at me? Oh, here it is. Change you. Good grief. There we go. No, didn't want to do that. Oh, well, come over here, fix this. Okay, so there she is, Emily Taunton. Well, I also have her death information. I wish we'd quit doing that. You can click and add a lot of stuff in here. And this is customizable. You can add additional fields here. See down here where it says custom view? If you click on that button, you can add different things. But be careful and not add too many, because you run out of room and then you'll have to scroll. But burial is one of those things that you probably have on there a lot. Well, why didn't it do that? Burial. Oh, I see what I did wrong. There you go. Burial. And I want to click that. And it's over here now. I'm going to click OK. And it added it down there. And so I have her death date of 26 October 1939. And she died in Melville. St. Landry Parish, Louisiana. But she's buried in Lottie. In Lottie Cemetery. And that added all of her, and that's all from her death certificate. Now we're going to go get her death certificate. Her death certificate is online at Family Search. This little blue button, little icon here, means that there is information on Family Search in hints. But it's in a tree. You can do a right mouse click on her and open it in a new window. And here is her information. That is somebody that put a tree online. Now, one of the ways of utilizing these is to go and click on family with sources. And you can see, if you scroll down, it's got sourcing to a certain point. And some of these sources are very good. It actually gives you URLs for where stuff is. And you can copy them and paste them in your browser window. I'm looking for the one I want and I cannot see it. Anyway, you can also.
What did you click on to get that source? The sources up there, the two that it says, that's what you clicked on at the top? I missed where your arrow was. Okay.
The family with sources is this little icon down at the bottom. It says family with sources.
Oh, there.
And it opens as it's a PDF. You can download it. I would not print these because some of them are rather voluminous.
Wow.
Like this one's 8 pages. I've had some that were 20. If it's a big family, they have lots of sources. Now, a lot of these sources are irrelevant. Like I would not use tombstone inscriptions or find a grave stuff if I can get to a death certificate.
Yeah, okay.
Now for Emily.
Do they sometimes have the actual document there or just the reference and wording like that?
They'll just have the references because I don't think
Family Search wants to have all that up there. Probably it's too big.
Well, but this could link to her if you had.
Oh.
Well, it has one source. And it's find a grave, which that's fine. But, I would rather see the real death certificate, which I know is there.
Okay.
So I would go to, well, from here, it doesn't look the same because I am in trees. Oh, search, catalog. Family Search recently changed a bunch of stuff. Well, and actually I would go to records in this case and go specifically to Louisiana records because you can search specific in a specific area and it will come up with a search engine for the whole area. And then it's got not anything that's indexed is here, plus a few things that are not indexed. So like if I were to put in, and she went by Emma a lot. Yeah. They're not real good all the time about finding everything. See, they really didn't find very much. Let me go back because it just occurred to me, they will let me put in that alternate name stuff. Where did the alternate name stuff? Oh, alternate name. And see, now you're getting find a grave. But this is the one I want. Emma Taunton Shows. Or yeah, Shows. you click on that, it's going to open over here. And it asks you, check image availability. Well, if you click that, well, you have to be in one of their family history centers. So what you can do, that's why you use that spreadsheet. That means it's a locked image.
Do you have one spreadsheet for everybody? In other words, is the spreadsheet for your visit to the library, or is it per person or per branch of the tree that you maintain the spreadsheet?
On the spreadsheet, I have one of the headings is family or database. So you know which database it belongs to.
Okay.
Because you put the name, the name is down there too. But if they're not, you can copy that URL and paste it in your spreadsheet.
Okay.
And some libraries, you can actually use your own laptop to get to the family search images. You don't have to use one of theirs, which is why I use Grapevine. They let me do it on my own computer and I just download stuff. However, I do have this image, already had it. So I am going to open that. Family Tree Maker. Well, actually, let me do it this way. Because I have it in this folder. And I'm going to copy it over to this new folder. And make sure it actually does it. All right. So now I'm going to come back over to her, to people. And besides, you can see these little icons are popping up. This is where you would put a source. So you click on that little icon, it takes you to sources. No, that's place. Sorry, I'm wrong. Go back to people. There we go. A little, you have to highlight to see the new source citation. They don't make this easy for you here. And we're going to add a new source citation. Now, there are no sources in this database. I know of no easy way of putting sources in this database. So this is a death certificate. And it's new. I'm going to create a new one. And then I'm going to put the name as it is on the death certificate, which is Emma Taunton Childs, was Louisiana, 1939, and then the certificate number, which I should have left it up a while ago. One, 3, 4, 4, 6. Well, actually, that's not where you put it. It goes up here. Oops. I'm having a lot of trouble with this mouse for some reason. It goes up here. And then now I'm going to add the media while I'm here. Attach new media. And I'm going to navigate to where that was being held. Now, once I select this spot, every time I try to do something in this tree, it will go here. Because it's the last file I opened. And while I'm here, I can give it some details if it will work. Oh, come on, open. There we go. I can give it a caption. It's going to take the caption I named it. If I want to change it, I have to do this. And your caption doesn't have to be your file name. It's nice if it is, but it doesn't always stay that way. My example is if you have a deed record that actually has airship information in it. On the deed record, I put where I found it, like Texas County, Missouri, Deed Book 3, page 44. And the caption may be heirs of Henderson Wilson, because I want to know that that's where I found the link. Okay. Cancel this. And I'm going to click OK. Now, while it's there, in that spot, I can come to this new source, use existing source, and the last source I entered is going to be selected. And all I have to do is link to citation. So it was on her birth date, her death date, where she was buried, and then it had her parents' names on there. So I'm going to add her dad, Asa. And click OK. And notice that this area changes to his name. I can click on the new source, use existing. That's her death certificate. Her mom's name was on there. As I click OK, it comes over here and I can put this, make sure it's in the right place. I can source this one now. Use existing. Okay. And so now you have 3 people in your database. And they all are having the little blue icon showing up for family search. If you want to use Ancestry, you're going to have to upload a tree. And I am frozen. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you mean by that? If you want to use Ancestry, you're going to have to upload a tree.
Ancestry will not show you hints unless you have a tree online.
Okay.
That really doesn't work very well in this respect, in this genre, because you're adding to it all the time. And Ancestry's information database is not the same as Family Tree Maker's database structure. And so things get scrambled and messed up. You will constantly be having to clean up if you use an Ancestry tree to do your research with your database on the computer. You're safer if you do it from the computer, and only from the computer. So I'm going to click on, now this is going to show me the same tree, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But they do have other family history sites over here like Ancestry. It will automatically populate part of it for you. And I can click open in a new window and it will open over here in my browser. But it's not populating it. Used to, it would populate the information. So it doesn't really help you. But come on, click in the window. Good grief. Don't ever use exact when you're doing searches in Ancestry. Always add sounds like and similar. If it will let me check them. Soundex does not work. So don't use it. Over on exact on the given name. Good grief. Do similar and sounds like. Don't use initials, because if you have an initial in the name, like really her name is Emily C, it pulls every name in the world with C in it, not just her name. And I'm going to scroll. All right, and then I'm going to click search. I want to put in Louisiana, and it should populate. They have changed this search engine. She was born in 1859. Wow, this is interesting. I'm not adding that because I don't know that yet. I mean, I do, but I don't. And it gives me these hints. And notice it did not even look at Louisiana. That's because they left it. I'm going to make it exact. She would only ever lived in Louisiana, so you can pretty much safely do that. If they lived in multiple counties or multiple states, you can't do that. But she was always in Louisiana. So they have a lot of different information, including a lot of family trees. Over here shows you what information they have. They have a census voter list, birth, marriage, death, family trees, directories, a variety of things. So I right mouse click on these links and say open in new tab. Same thing for this one. Open link in new tab. Well, that didn't work. There we go. It actually worked twice. Thank you. And there's a few marriage records and some of them aren't even her. They're not even her. And I don't think that's her either. So I'm going to come back over to my search, click the little pencil, which is edit. And it will open this other window. I'm going to change this to Emily. Don't ask me why that makes a difference. To me, Emily and Emma are interchangeable names, and they don't think so. And if you want to really narrow it so you don't have to look at all the other stuff, like the family trees, turn them off. But I'm going to look at that one. So and all I'm going to get is a tree because they're not going to show me anything. Oh, there they come. So here's one, 1870. It will open in a new link, 1860. Good grief. It really is being hokey pokey. I didn't want that one. That one can go away. That one. Trying to close when I can. Yeah, I know you hit a snag. Sometimes it's not always your computer. Sometimes it's theirs. Anyway, this is 1860 in Catahoula Parish. She's highlighted, and she's with Asa in Louisiana, although they spelled it weird. And then there's a sister, and that date for her parents is screwy and her sister screwed up. And I saw something that I wanted to open. There's one of them here that doesn't have an image. It's just an index. That's not going to really help you very much. But for this one, in order to link it to your family tree, you're going to do a save to your computer. If it will let me do this. I'm going to tell it to go to Family Tree Maker Taunton in the new folder. And I name it by the name of household, which is Asa, Taunton. And then I put family because it's a family group. If it was just her by herself, it would be Emily, Taunton, and whatever. This is the 1860 census for Catahoula Parish. Oops. And I'm going to save that. Well, there it goes. And it saved it down here. And you can say, ask to see where it is in the If you want to open it on your computer and want to see where it's saved, you can click on its stuff down here. Since my computer's going hokey pokey, we're not doing that. I'm going to come back over here to Family Tree Maker, if it will let me. Well, go back to people. And I'm going to go to ACES Person tab. And I'm going to start adding facts for him. I'm going to add his birth. Is it 21? That's 1839 in Georgia. And now I'm going to add a residence for 1860 using Catahoula. I'm going to add a new source. And this is a whole new source. It's going to be the 1860 United States Federal Census. Oops, I misspelled it. And yes, it's going to be new. And under the detail, I'm going to come back over here to Ancestry, if it will let me. And look at the way they indexed this whole thing. Just A Taunton. So that's what I'm going to put in the index. And then Catahoula Parish, Louisiana. Now, if you were merging this with Ancestry, they would have a much longer name for the 1860 census. They would probably also repeat 1860 census in the citation. There's a lot of redundancy in the way they do their citations, and their citations are not according to any of the books that have been written about sourcing. Then you click on media to link to the media, and it's attached new media. And it went to the folder that the death certificate was in because it's the new one. And there's ACES 1860 census. I'm going to open it. And I'm going to click OK. And while it is selected, I can come up here, use existing. It's still selected. And put it on his name. I can't do that. It'll let me go to Louisiana, use existing. I'm going to add her birth date. Cancel. Okay. Well, while we're on Emily, since it's going there, we're going to put the source on her name. And on her birth. I'm going to go back to the tree. Go to Louisiana, try to get Louisiana in there. And source that. And then she had a sister, Wealthy. And I'm trying to figure out, that said that she was older, but that's wrong. So I'll have to look up the date for Wealthy. But anyway, her name is also on, on that record. And then I'm going to come back over to Asa, go to his person tab. I'm going to click on the residence. I'm going to right mouse click and say copy. I'm going to click on Louisiana and click paste. And I can select both Wealthy and Emily and click OK. And it will add that residence to all of them. So you only have to enter it once.
I did not follow what you clicked on to do that. I hate to say that.
You copy, you put it on the primary person. That's
Okay.
what I do. You right mouse click and click well, select it, right mouse click on it, click copy. Then I clicked on Louisiana. Then I clicked on one of her fields in the facts, right mouse clicked and pasted.
Okay,
And then that window comes up.
okay,
Okay.
got it. Thank you.
All right. I am going to stop the recording and stop the share if I can make this work. And we'll do questions.
This has been a production of the Dallas Genealogical Society. If you are already a member, thank you. If you are not a member, please consider joining today by visiting dallasgenealogy.org and clicking on the membership tab. Your membership dues will help us support the genealogy section of the Dallas Public Library, as well as help continue our education and preservation efforts.